Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another morning of stamping. My name is Sarah Simon. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm located in Appleton, Wisconsin. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you for all of you who have jumped on. Let me say my good mornings. I've got Kelly was the first one on this morning, nice and early, and Melanie. Karen in Oregon is up very early to watch me. Thank you. Dee, Lori, Amanda Shabo, Mary, Gian, and Debbie. Melanie, Denise, good morning. I'm so happy that you guys are joining me this morning. I'm excited to stamp with you. Um, Thank you for all of you who sent greetings last week. There's been very few times in my life where stamping I just couldn't stamp, and last week just happened to be one of those. And it was good to get back into stamping. On Thursday was the first time that I actually stamped in like about a week and a half, and I've never gone that long. I don't think so. It was good to get back. It's just some stuff has been going on in my job. Those that are local have probably seen it in the paper and stuff. But in 29 years of working for a school district, I have never, ever worked there for the paycheck or the benefits. My heart was really into absolutely everything that I did working there. And let's just say that changed about a week ago. And so it's been hard to get up in the morning and go to work. And I have to say that this last week felt like about a month. But I'm back at it and I'm back stamping and I am happy. So to be with you today. So we have a couple of fun projects. I actually have two cards and I also have a 3D item for you. I've been doing those Christmas 3D items. So none of my cards today are Christmas cards, but my 3D item is something Christmas related. I figure a lot of people maybe have at least a start on their Christmas cards. So I thought I would introduce you to one new product along with one of our online exclusives and then a real gem in the October to December mini catalog that is going to be done here soon. So let's go ahead. Let me share some of the happy mail that I received. So it was so nice to go to my mailbox and receive happy things. This came to me from Mary King. Look at how cute that is. And it's a fun fold like that. Um, this kind of inspired me to take one of our new products and take a look at it. And we're actually going to be using something from the new catalog that uses where we have this DSP and some of these cutouts. And then I received this from Cindy Winkleman. Isn't this cute? This is a paper pumpkin creation. She used something from paper pumpkin and made that. And then I received this from Michelle Jones. I just love those birds. Are this not the cutest? I love how she did that. A lot of other people have jumped on here. So hello, Barbara and Angelique and Donna. Cheryl is over on Facebook. I can see the people on Facebook now. Linda and let's see, Brooke and Sandy. Thank you guys all for joining me. All right, we have some prizes to give away as well. So last week I introduced you to the little otters, which are online exclusives. Exclusives. Hello, Kay. And we made this. This was one of our book fold cards. And then we used that reindeer set with a birthday card to show you the versatility of it. You can use it long after Christmas for some of those masculine cards. So we made those. And then our little 3D item was this little thing that has three of our Hershey nuggets in it and used our hang and ornament set to make that, along with our take a bow, take a bow, whatever it's supposed to be. Hello, Kelly Wildenberg on Facebook. But those are our prizes today, and receiving those for commenting last week. And she's on here is Lori Workman. So Lori, I will get these off in the mail to you. Jean Maxwell, if you are on here, your prize did not get out in the mail 2 weeks ago, and I am so embarrassed about that. I found it when I finally came back into my stamp room. I'm like, oh shoot, I never got that out in the mail. So yours is going out in the mail with these today. So um, then for sharing. So anytime you share, whether it be on Facebook or if you send it as a private message to someone, make sure like Linda and Jeanne and Lori have done on here, they've said shared, so that if I can't see your name that you shared, I can still put you in my drawing to win. So receiving this gold and silver, I think it's called trim combo pack. This was a hot commodity this Christmas season. This was out of stock, I think, for over a month, or it was in stock for like a day and then it went out of stock again. So, receiving this for sharing is Karen Roofing. So, Karen, I will put this, I think I'll put this in the mail to you. I know I'll see you next Saturday, but I will put this in the mail. I have my Christmas camp next Saturday. And then I have all of these people here, all their names are in here, who placed orders over the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to mix them up on my desk here. I'm not going to look. We'll make sure they're all in there. And I'm going to draw one of them and receiving the everyday greetings for placing an order. This is awesome. It has congratulations, thinking of you, happy anniversary, happy birthday, best wishes, thank you. Where there is heartache, let there be healing. I mean, there's a lot of really cool things, and it goes very nicely if you have our seasonal greetings of the season with the tags. So here's the name I picked, Tammy Marquardt. So Tammy, I will be getting that off in the mail to you. Let me get all of this stuff out of here. Okay, one of the bad things about having some being sort of depressed and feeling like you're having mental health issues for so long, and then Stampin' Up coming up out with a pre-order. I spent way more money than I was supposed to, but I was doing it to make myself feel better. So anyway, I got this huge box. I also splurged for second day air shipping, which wasn't cheap. But I did get some of my pre-order stuff. My catalogs are coming this week. I didn't send everything second day air because that would have been really expensive. So I have those coming. So if you've placed an order with me in the last 6 months, you will be getting one of those. If you know you haven't, but you would like to get the celebration and the January through April mini catalog. Is it April? Yeah, it's April. Yeah. You can go ahead and send me a private message and I will make sure that you get that. Yeah, nothing wrong with retail therapy. Thank you, Jeannie. I agree with you 100%. But I'm going to be, like I said, my second card, I'm going to be using some paper and some cutouts from one of the suites that's in our upcoming catalog. I think I'm going to turn this around. Let's see here. We'll go like this, go like that, let that focus, and I'm going to turn my overhead light off. All right. Let me grab the stuff. I have everything on my counter that I have to drag over here to make my cards today. So my first card is using our Regal Floral, which is in our holiday catalog, but it doesn't really have any Christmas greetings on it. I love this because sending love your way and wishing I were there to give you a hug were some of my favorite sayings this last week, as I knew so many people who were struggling with the things that were going on at work. So when I came back into my office and I'm like, it's time to start stamping, I grabbed this one right away. This layout that we're going to be using for this card is a super easy layout. It's also very similar to the deer I'm going to just grab this paper so that you can see it. It's very similar to the deer card that we made last week. So in this suite, there are actually two papers, designer papers. One of them is a specialty paper, and it has this gold foil in all of it. So there's cherry cobbler, there's this white, and then this green. So I paired that with the designer paper that came in this pack. And I don't even know if I have all of it here, but we've got this floral, we've got this blue. Look at the red. I think this is called winter floral. Well, let me look. I've got a whole pack of it here. Yeah, Regal Winter is actually called. And we've got some with wild wheat and rich raspberry. And there's some early espresso in there. Here's another pattern. And then some of the wild wheat. So I used this along with the stamp set to create my first card. And I'm going to kind of have to sneak away from my comments for a little bit so I can give you the measurements. I can't have both things up at the same time. So if I don't respond to you and you asked a question, make sure you ask it again later, and I will hopefully get to it before we're done. All right, so our card today is using this right here is Blackberry Bliss. I think I said rich raspberry. We haven't had rich raspberry for a while. This is 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. So it's just a standard A2 card. Then I have a layer of gold foil. Look at that. And this measures 3.5 by 4 3/4. My camera doesn't like it. It gets kind of blurry with all that glowing. We have a piece of that green with gold foil. This is 1 1/4 by 3 inches. I have another piece of the DSP. This is kind of that Blackberry Bliss. Again, this is 2 by 3. And then I used the floral. There's one floral that has more reds in it, one that has a little bit more of the Blackberry Bliss, and I picked that one. And the back of it has had this blue. And this measures 1.5 by 3 3/8. And then I have a 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside. This is basic white, and this is from our Nested Essentials. I cut this banner out. I did have a piece of designer paper, but I think I'm going to use a stamp instead of this. And then I have something for my envelope as well. And this measures 2.5 by 6 to cover my envelope. All right, I'm done with measurements. I'm going to come back to comments. Good morning, Kay. Good morning, Julie and Renee. Thank you to all of you who shared. And Janet, welcome from Pennsylvania. I'm going to go ahead and use my bone folder and give this a good burnish. And just like we did with that deer card last week, I am going to take my gold foil and we are going to build a little background with that designer paper. So I'm using this green and gold foil. I'm going to use some of that burgundy or the Blackberry Bliss. And then we're also going to use some of that floral to build ourselves like a background with the designer paper. I love these types of layouts because so often I have little scraps of designer paper that are sitting around. And my mom always says to me, like, Sarah, why are you keeping all these little scraps? It's because I can do stuff like this with a tiny little scrap of paper. And so I'm going to go ahead and attach this, and I'm going to try to keep the same border around. Today, if you're friends with me on Facebook, I didn't put it on my business page, but on my personal page. Today, my dad turns 80 years old. My brother and my sister-in-law and my mom are taking him out for dinner. And then I think throughout the week, my other brother and sister are going to be popping in and celebrating with him too. So I think he's going to have a whole week to celebrate this big milestone birthday because with the holiday in there, um, it's just, kind of hard to get home for a weekend. And my brother's out in Arizona for the winter, and my sister lives about 2.5 hours away. So it'll be nice to celebrate him all week. And with being single, I usually get invited to all the celebrations. So lucky me, right? All right. So there is our background for our card. And this is going to be our inside. So we have to stamp on that. We're also going to be stamping on this. So I am going to use Blackberry Bliss ink. I thought about using Blackberry Bliss and stamping in gold, but I really wanted to use, I love, this is one of my favorite ribbons, and it comes with this suite of products, and I really wanted to use this on there, and I didn't know how it looked with Blackberry Bliss. It really stood out on the white, so I opted for white. I was kind of playing around with it the other day, and I just decided this one I made on Thursday night. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this greeting on here, and hopefully I can get it straight. I only cut one of them. Ooh, that looks pretty good. All right, that's going to go there. And then on the inside, I'm going to use the wishing I were there to give you a hug. This is when someone's going through a difficult time and you're not nearby to actually be there for them. But if you were, you knew for sure you'd want to be giving them a hug. So that looks pretty straight. And I think I'm going to, instead of the paper, I think I'm just going to stamp some of these flowers down in the corner like that. Super easy, super simple. Let's go ahead. We also have a single flower, I think, on the front of my envelope. I'm just going to stamp one of those as well. All right, let me put my stamps away, close up my ink because otherwise I'm going to get it everywhere. Oh, guys, thanks so much for all. I'm sure my mom is watching, and so she's probably telling my dad that you're all wishing him a happy birthday because he's not on Facebook. He doesn't, he thinks it's just a waste of time. And I kind of agree with him. Sometimes I feel like I do waste my time on Facebook, but it's a fun way to connect with people, right? I'm gonna I really like this to make sure that I have enough padding all the way around. I'm gonna raise this up and put this on there. And let's see. This was perfect because it fit right across there. Right? We're going to go ahead and put this on the inside. This is a very quick, easy card. I'm in a hurry. I need to get something out in the mail. I don't have time to spend hours making something. And so this is nice and quick and easy. And we'll add a little bow and we'll add some gems. And this card will be ready to go. So I'm just going to make a bow. I don't want it to be really big. I just want it to be, there we go. I think that's a good size. I just kind of play with it until it's the size that I like. And trim it like that. Put that off to the side there. And then I'm going to just use a glue dot. And I'm going to attach that right over the top there. I want to still be able to see my greeting. I might actually go above. Might have to make this a little smaller yet. Hang tight. I think my one that I made yet is a little smaller. So I'm just going to pull on this just a little bit more, make these just a little bit smaller. And once I make them smaller, I pull on them again to tighten them. And this one I can make a little smaller yet. Or I could use a bow maker and it would go a lot faster. But we're just gonna go with what I have today. Okay. And I'm gonna set that up there. That's a little bit better. I don't know why. I think I might have stamped my greeting down a little bit further when I made my sample. Let's see what we can do here. I don't want to cover up the greeting. Let me see if I can make my bow. I think I can. I'm gonna just make my bow go a little bit more horizontal instead of vertical. Just kind of make the tails go that way. There we go. See, I did that. Now, if I want to hold it that way so it doesn't go down, I'll just take another glue dot and I'll kind of pop it underneath here to hold that in place where I want it to be. There is our card. And then this stamp set, where did my gems go? They were just here. Here they are. They're tiny, regal foiled. I'm going to use the ones that look like the Blackberry Bliss. And I'm just going to pop one down here, throw one in there, and kind of in that area there. So we've got a little bit of gems to add to that. Sending love your way. Wishing I were there to give you a hug. And add a little bit of this designer paper to our envelope flap. Thank you, Brooke. And we'll pop that. Oops. And put it down very straight. There we go. And then we'll just trim around the edge. And we have, just like that, we have a card all together to go in the mail. And it really did not take me that long to make that. Now, if that bow is going to cost a little bit of extra postage. I like it because it tells the person that I'm sending it to them, even though I'm not there to be there with them. I cared enough to put that on. If you do not want to add that bow, you could always add like that gold trim. You could put something like that on, which is a little bit flatter, and you wouldn't have to probably pay for extra postage, or you could just leave it without the bow. These gems are pretty flat. You shouldn't have to pay anything extra for that. But sometimes with this ribbon, especially with it being a little bit bulkier ribbon, it does mean that you have to pay a little bit more for that. But yeah, I love this DSP2 Angelique. It's one of my favorites. So, and I love how it pairs with the one that has the golden, that you can kind of dress it up a little bit with that ribbon. Okay, so that's our card number one, our quick and easy card. Our second card is not going to be that quick. It's still pretty easy. I don't want to say it's not easy because it isn't, but it is going to be a fun fold, and it does have quite a few layers to it. So here was the one that I made on Thursday. So I think I must have stamped maybe a little bit lower because my greeting was a little bit better. So there we go. Let me get this, set this over on my counter and grab number two. All right. Got a bunch of stuff here to show you. We're going to mix new with upcoming new with some of our online exclusives. So one of our online exclusives that you can get right now. Thanks, Brenda. I'll let my dad know. This is Cake Celebrations. This is an online exclusive that's available right now. It has stamps that you can stamp onto layers of cake. It has anniversary, wedding, and birthday greetings. So this happy birthday, happy wedding day, happy anniversary, and the word celebrate, those are all individual, so you can mix and match them. It has dies where you can cut out, I don't have these on a magnet yet, where you can cut out your layers. You can cut out your frosting. You can cut out a little fun banner to put at the top of it. It has a little cake plate stand, I should say. So this is a very fun, and then you can also cut out some of those flowers. I decided to pair this with something that is coming up in the new catalog that will be available to customers in January. And this is one of these sets. It's actually called Wildflower Birthday. And let me pull all of this out for you. As you can see, I've cut up a whole bunch of it. I was going to use this cake, but then I decided to pair it with the online exclusive instead. It has this fun banner. It has all these little pop-outs with balloons, bouquets of flowers. So this would be a great scrapbooking if you are into scrapbooking. But you can also use it like I'm going to be using it today. I'm going to be using some of the paper. I'm going to be using some of these smaller cutouts for card making. It has beautiful prints that have some gold foil mixed in with it. I love this pink gingham. And then we have, again, each of the designer paper. One side has something with some gold foil. So you could really cut out one of those cakes in here if you wanted. Okay, here it's a little bit more muted on the back. And then we have, okay, showed you that one. Here's the other one. Okay, another floral on the back, very muted. And then we have this one right here that has cakes with gold foil, and then this beautiful stripe. And then we have this. Wait till you see what's on the back of this. Look at that. You can cut out these tags and put things on. You could use this on a scrapbook page. You could cut this out and use it right on your card. And then, so you have 2 pages of that. And then you have all of these wonderful, these I'm going to be getting in a plastic bag here, but you have all of these floral images. Look at this piece of cake with a candle on it. I was going to use that, but I decided not to, so I punched it out and then decided against it. I was going to use part of that. So my card just kept evolving as I was making it. So this is something to look forward to in the upcoming catalog. If you're a scrapbooker, this is an awesome set. It also has a stamp set and dies, which those were not sent in my second day air. That's coming a little bit later. But it does have numbers where you can, like for my dad's birthday, with it being the 80th birthday, you could do an 8 and a 0 and make a fun card like that. All right. The colors that we're going to be using for this card are our Blueberry Bushel, one of my favorite blues, and Pretty in Pink. And we're going to be using some Versamark so that we can use some gold embossing to go with the colors that were in that paper. So let me go ahead and here's my card. All right, I am going to go away from the comments for just a little bit. So if you comment and I don't answer right away, if it was a question, just know that it's because I need to put up the measurements and I can't have both of the things up at the same time. All right, let's see if I can find where I'm at with this. All right, my card base is Blueberry Bushel, and this measures 5.5 by 6.25, and I scored this at 2. Okay, so I scored it from 2 at the end. Then another folding piece, this has a double fold in it, is my Pretty in Pink. And this measures 8 inches by 5.25, and I scored it at 4. So this card is going to have a fold that opens on the left-hand side like your normal card. And then on the inside, it's going to have another fold. This will be attached, and that will open this way. Okay, so we're going to have a double fold. All right, I have a piece of Pretty in Pink that measures 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. So that'll match the pretty in pink that I had on the inside. And then I used, for the outside, I used this pattern that is 1 5/8. Oops, by 5 1/8. I did not do a very good job of typing that there. Sorry about that. That's 5 1/8. All right, I can go ahead and fix that. Let's see here. If I edit it, and we'll change it to 5 and 1. Just give me a second here. I don't have my keyboard in front of me, so I'm reaching over my laptop, and we'll go ahead and save that. And I will go ahead and show that for you. Okay, so 1 5/8 by 5 1/8. And then I used, here it is, these cakes. Look at how fun those are. This measures 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So that's going to be on this side with that. I have 2 5/8 by 3 5/8. Oh, that is this. This is going to be for the inside. So this is 2 5/8 by 3 5/8. So the last couple of lives that I've had, I used this large Pocket Thoughts die, and we made our hot cocoa holder. Last week we used this tiniest one, and we made that little gift bag that held the Hershey Nuggets. Today we're going to be using the middle one, and what I did was I ended up cutting that out, and it's actually going to be a gift card holder where we can put a gift card inside of there. Now you're going to get to vote if you want that to be the gingham, or this folds this way too. The other option is either gingham or that floral. So do you like the floral for the gift card, or do you like the gingham? You can go ahead and start voting on that one. All right. Then I have, for the front, I have a blueberry bushel that measures 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. I have a pretty in pink that measures 3 by 3 1/2. And then you're also going to get a vote for the front, but we'll do that vote afterwards. I'm going to go ahead and start putting this card together, and then we'll do that vote. Okay, so we do have a front piece, and it's either going to be this, or this is a new embossing folder that I tried that looks like, it's called something with stars. I think it's actually a celebration. And then the other option would be just plain white. But let's just vote on the gingham or the floral for that, the gift card holder piece, and then we'll vote on the rest of it later. So I'm going to show you how the card goes together, and then we'll decorate it after. So this is the layout for the fun fold, is just a whole bunch of layers of paper. And I did do another sample here where you don't have to have as many layers. This was a card that I made, I think, last year. And so it looks pretty much the same. Mine just has a couple more layers, and it has designer paper mixed in instead of all stamps like I did in this one. All right, let's go ahead and start putting this together so you can see how the card comes together, and then we'll actually design it with what we want on the front and how that's going to look. So the designer paper is just 1/8 of an inch smaller. So that's just like a little 1/16 of an inch. And that is going to go across. And I'm going to get my bone folder out here so that I can give this a good burnish. So it lays flat. And that is just going to go right on there. Okay, now you wouldn't have to really put that pink layer, but I thought since this had a pink layer in it, it looked nice to match that up. And again, I'm going to give this a good burnish because, and I'm going to hide this and come back to your comments so that I can see what you're voting on. A lot of ginghams. All right, we're going to go ahead and attach that. I probably should have put that designer paper on first, but that's okay. we'll adjust. Okay, so again, the fold is on the right-hand side so that it looks like that. And then this is going to go over the top of that. So I'm really kind of adding a lot of designer paper to this, but like you saw in my simpler one, you don't have to. Okay. All right. Then this is going to go right in the center of here. And we're covering up a lot of those cakes, but you can still see them all peeking through. Let's see what we've got here. I've got floral, gingham, gingham, gingham. I've got either, but floral with the gold is a shame to cover up. Very true. Floral. All right. So this is what the floral would look like. Right. This is what the gingham will look like. So if you want to vote, you still have some time. Okay, so that's the gingham. And the other was the floral. Hello, Ella. Hi, Myra. Okay, so if we have any other votes, otherwise I'm going to start counting gingham now. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 ginghams and 2 florals. So we're going to go with gingham. All right, and I am going to actually use tear and tape for this. It actually cuts just like the other one does. It has where there are score lines, and I am going to use just a little bit of tear and tape here and here and along the bottom. And give that a good press and pick that off. Right, so our adhesive is showing, and now the easiest way for me to lay this down was I line it up so the bottom has those 3 sides are even, and then I just press it down because you get it's one and done with the tear and tape. If you don't get it straight, you're stuck with it because it's going to tear when you try to pull it off. So here I have a gift card. Whoops, and there go my business cards with when I took that gift card out. I always keep this gift card here because I've used it already. I used it online. My sister gave it to me for my birthday. So that just sets right inside of there. All right. To decorate up my little pocket that I just put there, I'm going to use one of the cutouts that I did. I'm going to take this floral image and I'm just going to put it right down in the corner here. I think I'm actually going to have it go that way. Okay. And I'm just going to, I don't want to pop that up on dimensionals because it's on the inside of my card. So I'm just going to go ahead and use some glue dots. And I'm going to put one there. And I'm going to put one there. Okay, so there's that. And our little gift card is going to go inside of there. You could do a circle with a greeting if you wanted to. There's a lot of different things that you could do with this. All right, now what we have to do is we have to vote on what you want for the front. So we're going to cover this up. This is going to go like this to cover that up. Now we can either have plain white, so just the plain. We can have embossed white. We can have the gingham. Again, those are my 3 options that I have. But before you vote, so that you know what's going to be going on here, we are actually going to be building a cake on here. So I'm going to try to build it on each one of these so that you can see what it looks like. We're going to be putting a bottom layer and a top layer. And we should have a little, here it is, blue party flag that's going to be on the top of it. And we are also, while you're voting, I'll be building this, but we're also going to have, I don't know where they are. I know I cut them. And I know they were in here. I don't know if they fell on the floor. Oops, no, I think they're still in here. We were going to have little frosting coming down, but I don't know where that went. I may have to cut that again. We may have to bring, but there's little white frosting that I was going to have dripping down on the cake. So that's it on the gingham. That's one option. Another option is to have just some an embossed layer behind it along with the flag. Okay, so that's the embossed, and I'll hold it up here so that you can see what that looks like. Okay, with the little flag, whoops, or banners. Okay, and then the other option is just plain white. So your options are gingham, embossed, or just white. Right, so you can go ahead and you can vote on what you think you would like on the front. I'm going to go ahead and I don't know where this, I don't want to lose either. I don't know where my frosting went. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab some basic white and I'm gonna just cut a little bit off of this. And I have my mini machine. I don't want to lose any of this stuff because we don't want to be having to recut everything. I'm going to bring my mini machine in here. We're going to do this on the fly. I apologize if I'm bumping the camera. So we're going to need that and our 2 plates and put the stamp set over there, which has the dies. We're going to take some white and our frosting. I'll just cut some more. Thanks for being patient with me. Oh, look at that. My die moved. I gotta cut it again. This is really a live video. We do make mistakes. Sorry that I'm wasting your time by making mistakes here. I didn't even notice that I barely have this cut wide enough. There we go. I'm just going to take my take your pick tool and take out that frosting and that frosting. And now we can get rid of our machine. I think for right now, I'm just going to put it on the floor. All right. Let's see. We're going to take the stamps, and we have some stamps that kind of look like the layers. And I am going to put that a little bit more towards the bottom of the cake because the frosting will be towards the top. And I am going to use Pretty in Pink ink, but I'm going to stamp off once. I just want it very light. Okay, you probably can't even barely see that. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with the little one. Stamp off and stamp it towards the bottom so that it looks like that. Okay, we're going to use a little bit of liquid glue. Who ate the frosting? Yep, right, Jean. Embossed, 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 embossed. Gingham, gingham. Let's see. Embossed, embossed, embossed. It looks like it's going to be embossed. All right. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of liquid glue to our frosting. I'm just going to put that right along the top here. Right, I'm going to trim this. Here it is. Just a little. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing with my little piece, the top layer. So we got frosting, we've got a little detail. Oops. All right, of course, we're going to add some Wink of Stella to all of this to give it some shine. Going to do the same thing on the cake layers. And I know you can't see this, but oh my goodness, it's really sparkly. I'll hold it up to the camera. Maybe you can see some of it, but can you see some of that glitter? I don't think you can. Maybe if I move it, you can see a little bit. All right, looks like we're going to go with embossed. So we're ready to build our cake. But before we do that, I am going to take this and I'm going to put it on the back. And I'm just going to add my dimensionals. Here they are. So I'm going to decide where I want this, but what height. That looks about good. And then I'm just going to put a dimensional over that to hold it in place. And I'm going to put a dimensional on that to hold it in place. And then I'm going to throw some dimensionals on the back of this cake as well. And we're going to glue this down with just some liquid glue. So we will go ahead and build our little cake on our cake plate here, our gold cake plate, to bring that gold in. And you do have to go pretty close to the bottom for it to fit on this layer. Do you want to hold that a little bit longer with that liquid glue on the emboss so that it gets in between all those little crevices and stuff? All right, we have got Amanda did a boss on Facebook as well, it looks like, and Cheryl. All right, then put our top layer on. Isn't that a cute cake? All right, and now we're going to add that. Since this has embossed, I'm going to go ahead and add my adhesive to my pretty in pink layer. Sometimes if I try to put tape on embossed stuff, it tears. So I like to use it on the pink layer, and then we will add that to our blue layer. Isn't this coming together so fun? All right, and then this is just going to go right on the front like that. So I only need adhesive on this left side. Kind of center that a little bit, and it will cover my gift card holders there. And now we need a greeting on the outside, and we need a greeting on the inside. Whoops, I have this. I almost forgot my cute little flower, my little flower that I cut. We're going to put that right there on our cake. Isn't that cute? All right, now let's get a greeting for the inside. So I'm going to use Blueberry Bushel ink, and I'm going to use the happy and the birthday. So we've got happy, and we have birthday. I'm going to stand up to line this up. Okay, and then let's use some pretty in pink. I have this cute little flower. And I'm going to stamp right there. And then I've got a little greenery that I know greenery is usually green, but we're going to do it in this blueberry bushel. I'm just going to put that right in there. Right, so there is the inside. I'm going to close these up because I don't need these anymore. Right, I have my Versamark. I have my gold embossing powder. And what I did was I stamped the word celebrate onto blueberry bushel. And I am going to cut this out. Right, so this we can go ahead, put on the inside. And then on the outside, I'm just gonna, I know it's paper and has a ribbon on it, so it's supposed to be a ribbon scissors. I don't know where my other one is from here right now. I'm trying to get ready for a Christmas class that I have next weekend, all weekend. And there's different dates and times that people could sign up for it. And so I have it next weekend after Thanksgiving. And so there's a lot of cutting, and there's like everybody gets a 12 by 12 pack of paper. They get a sheet of gold foil. They get a spool of ribbon. They all get a pack of gems. I have a little gift inside there for each one of them that I don't want to tell you what it is because some of them might be watching and I want it to remain a gift. And then we have a little treat that we give them as well. Kathy has hers this weekend and I have mine next weekend. So I just cut that word celebrate out. I'm going to put some mini dimensionals, if I can find them, on my space here. But next weekend, I'm starting that a little bit later in the morning because it's Thanksgiving weekend and people want to sleep in a little bit and get some things done at their house, I'm sure. So I'm still going to do my live at 8:30 because I will be done in time for my Christmas thing that I believe I have to look at it. I don't remember if it's 10:30 or if it's 11 that I have it starting. So I'm just going to have some little snacks out for people to munch on, Christmas stuff. And it's going to be just a great day. Let's throw a couple more on there. There we go. Just cut my dimensionals apart so that they fit the size that I want. And just like that, put our celebrate here. All right, so there's the outside of our card, celebrate. We've got our little gift card holder in here. Now, if you don't want to do a gift card holder and you don't have these dies, you could also just put some paper here to have a little holder for your gift card, or you could just leave that blank if you wanted to. You didn't have to put a layer there. And then happy birthday on the inside. Isn't that fun? Okay, I grabbed, don't know what these are called. And I don't see where my little, oh, here it is. These are called Opal Rounds assortment. And they come with that fruit. I think it's the fruit. Um, the one that has the oranges and all of that. I can't even think the names of things right now. But I thought with these little blue dots that are in here, that would be fun to kind of add to our card. So I'm just going to take a big one. And maybe not now that we have the embossed layer. I didn't have the embossing on the sample that I did. But I just thought if we add a couple of those, maybe we can even add one up here. There's also gold. So if you wanted to do gold, We could do gold instead, but I thought that blue just added a little fun to the card as well. All right, that is our card number 2. I do have something for our, I don't know where that frosting went, guys. I'm sure I'll find it here somewhere, but it's just so weird. I think, like Melanie said, the gold in there is just too pretty to cover it up. So I think I'm going to use that for my envelope flap. So, are you excited about at least one thing in the mini catalog that's coming out? I just love, if you're a scrapbooker, this is a perfect like birthday page that you could do. It has so many, like I said, it's got the punch outs that have balloons. There's like a piece of cake with a candle in it. There's the full cakes that I could have used. They were just a little bit tall for what I wanted for this, but there is our card number 2, all ready to go. Um, Featuring an online exclusive, featuring the last size of our pocket thoughts. I know a couple of you have purchased this now because of that hot cocoa mix, how quick that was to make that. And then that little bag, how quick it was to make something like that. They're just very versatile for a variety of things. So, all right, let me clean some of this mess up, get some of this out of the way, and I will grab my 3D project for today. Whoops, and I had some of this gold thread that I was maybe going to put on there, but I didn't. So we'll just leave it. I'm going to leave it just the way it is. I'm going to flip this over so that we don't have all that on there. And our 3D item. We are going to be making a little box, and the dimensions, I like the Beatrice Potter set coming out. Yes, that is so cute, Renee. I did get that one. I did get the whole suite of products. There's 2 stamp sets or 2 bundles. There's ribbon. That was expensive. That's what I'm saying. It was like retail therapy. I love that. It was my retail therapy for sure. All right, I'm going to go away from your comments for just a little bit so I can give you the dimensions for this box so that if you want to recreate it, you can. So I'm using Real Red. And again, I'm making this as a little Christmas gift. These are little things that you can either have in your purse, you can give to like people that you help you out in the holidays when, like I used to work retail at our cheese factory. My parents had a cheese factory, and gosh, up until probably about 10 years ago, I still worked during the holidays when they needed help. And it's just crazy that time of year. So when somebody does something really nice for you, it's like, oh, that's so sweet. So this is something you could do for just about anyone. I'll show you a couple different ways that you can use this box. So this is 3 3/4 by 8.5. And I wanted to score it with you so that you could see. So with the 3 3/4 inch along the top, you want to score at 1 inch. So this is 1 inch here, 1 inch on this side. And I want to score at 1 inch on the other side. Okay, then with the 8.5 side, I want to score at 2 inches, 3 inches. I have to open my arm up here. 6 inches, and 7 inches. Okay, so this is going to be what we have to do. Now you could make a lot of these at once. I could see that these really do not take all that long to make. Decorating them, on the other hand, could take a little depending on what you all want to put on them. But all you're going to do is you're going to take your scissors, your snips, and you're going to cut up to that 1 inch score line on both sides. Okay, so we're just making a slit up. I did get this pattern from Dawn Griffith, dawnstampinthoughts.net. She did this for Halloween. She did a little thing. So these little things right here are little tabs, and I like to make those a little bit like cut just a little bit off so that they fold in better. So I just kind of cut like a little triangle off the edge. If any of you watch Julie DiMatteo, she always calls it a little miter cut that she gives it, just to make it fold in just a little bit and not have as much, I don't know if you want to say bulk, but when you cut on a score line, the score line is usually a little bit thicker than the cut that you can make. So sometimes your paper is just um, a little bit wider. So it's just cutting off that little edge. So I've just made my little tabs. Right. And if you make these, you don't want to make them in your living room. How do I know? Because all of these little pieces end up on your carpet and stuff. You want to keep them where it's on a desk and you can take them or easily brush them into a garbage. Okay, I'm going to take my bone folder and we are going to score really good on each of these score lines. And on the side as well. My scissors out of the way here. And I think I'm going to show you this box so that you can see when we're putting it together. When I talk about the front and I talk about the cover, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so when we look at this right here is longer than that. So this piece right here is going to be the front flap of our box, and this is going to be the cover that comes down on it. So my box, my finished box, here it is. So you're going to see what it looks like. I usually like it to be a surprise, but I'll show you. We're using different paper. So it looks like this. It opens up like that, and you can stick stuff inside of it. Okay, so the longer piece, the longer section is going to be this piece right here, and then the shorter one is going to be your top. Okay, what you need for the bottom, this piece right here is, nope, that's not right. I have this piece, I gotta see the tall ones. These two pieces right here are 7/8 of an inch wide by 1 7/8, and they're going to go on the two sides of that. And then in the center, our piece is going to be 1 5/8 by 1 7/8. Okay, so 1 7/8 is the height, and then 7/8 for the sides, and 1 5/8 for the front. And then for your cover, get down far enough. The two sides are going to be 7/8 by 1 3/8. So those are going to go on those two sides. And then this front is going to be 1 5/8 by 1 3/8. Okay, so those are all the dimensions of your designer paper so that you have it. So before I put this all together, I'm actually going to glue these on because it's easier to press it all down when I have it laying flat. Okay. Let's see. So here is our front. So I'm going to go ahead. Now, if you have directional paper, you're going to want this front is going to want to be, this is the direction that you're going to want it to be so that it's kind of in a portrait style for those dimensions. Okay, so that's going to go right there. My taller sides, whoops, I almost put the glue on the wrong side. It's going to go there. And the other side. All right, and then if you are doing this and the paper you're using is directional, you're going to want it landscape because this is going to come over the top, and you're going to want to look as you're putting it on there to make sure that it's going in the correct direction. I didn't really check I thought that it didn't matter. You can see my sample I did in polka dots. It didn't matter. I don't think it matters that these are going in different directions. I don't care about that. It's all just candy cane striped. Maybe I'll be different when it's all put together, but I don't think I will. Okay, so that's where you put all your designer paper. It's on this section and this section. The inside doesn't have anything. If you wanted to decorate the whole thing, but you really don't need this, what you really just need is the front and the sides. Okay, what you're gonna do is these tabs are going to be what puts our box together. So I like to use either liquid glue or I like to use tear and tape. So I'm just gonna throw some tear and tape on each of these tabs. And I'm gonna do the same thing for this other one. Anyone have any big plans for Thanksgiving? This is the Thanksgiving. Every other year we don't get together as a family because my siblings do their in-laws or do their own families. And so I think my mom and dad and I, last time I talked, we were going to be going to Venables with some of my aunts and uncles who also don't have get-togethers with their kids this year. So that'll be nice to be able to see all of them and probably still celebrate my dad's birthday a little bit. Okay, so these are not going to be attached to these flaps. They're actually going to be attached. This bottom one is going to be attached to the center section. And I'm going to take this cut right here and line it up with that score line and square it off. So there's that one. And there's that one. Now what I want to do is I want to put some adhesive here because those are going to be attached to the side. Okay, so my two flaps that are right here, I need to add some tear and tape to that. One and two. I just don't want my box falling apart when I put stuff in it. So I do add quite a bit of adhesive to boxes. And like I said, I like to use something that's permanent like the tear and tape. Or if you use the seal, you would want to use the Seal Plus. Or liquid glue is very permanent, but it does require a little bit of time for the glue to dry and to set. So you just have to make sure that you hold it long enough if you use liquid glue so that it doesn't come apart. Okay, so this is going to come over here and I'm going to line the bottom up. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to close this up and line the bottom up. Okay, up here, I'm going to attach this to my cover. That's going to be attached to that. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these off. And I like to pull both tabs off at the same time, but just make sure you don't. Like right now, I think oh no, I didn't. I thought I set that right on top of the glue. Thought I had my finger in between it. Oh, Renee, that's nice. Your kids and grandkids are coming over. Janet, I know I love little treat boxes too. So I'm going to do this folded and that cut line have to match up and make sure I don't touch anything else. And then same thing over here. Okay, and then Dawn did this and I thought, well, that's really clever. What she did was she just took her scissors and did a cut from the front to that back corner just to have it be on a slant. Do the same thing over here. My box has a little slant like that. All right, and then to decorate it, I used that fun little Santa that's in the shape of a star. And we have our punch which I thought I set my punch over here. Oh, here it is. Sweetest Star is the name of the bundle, and we've got the Sweetest Star punch. So I stamped this in Versamark and used some white embossing powder. And I'm just going to punch that out. And I don't like to spend a whole lot of time doing a ton of decorating because I want to give a bunch of these out. So I don't want it to have to take me forever to make them. So I usually do my decorating pretty simply. You could put a tag on the front of this. You could do our greetings of the seasons have all those tags, and you could put a ribbon through one of the holes. But I'm just going to go ahead and put the Santa up there. You want to make sure your dimensionals don't hit there. And then I die cut the sweet wishes, and I'm just going to put that right across his belly here. Now, what can you put in here? Well, one of the things that I found that fits, you can get these on Amazon. These are these shower steamers. I don't know if you've seen these, but they come in a couple of different scents. And you just basically throw them in your shower with hot water, and like the aroma and stuff like that fills your shower as you're taking a shower. And so I have, these are the lavender ones. And I found that those fit. You just have to stick it in there and kind of fold the top up a little bit. And what a nice little, like, especially one that says calm. I think the other one that I have is relax. That's what it's called. No, relief. Relief. And I think that one's eucalyptus. So I had the eucalyptus and the lavender. I got those in. And then you can also fit in here one of the Bath and Body Body Works. Their little hand sanitizers fit in there. Okay, so that's a nice little gift around the time of the holiday, especially in the winter when colds and stuff like that are going on. You could also fit a few little chocolates in there, and you could give it away as a little chocolate gift if you wanted to. So it's a cute little box that stays together. You don't really need any ribbon to keep it together. If you wanted to add some ribbon, like I said, you could either add it to a tag, or you would have to almost do something that was a bow and then just glue dot it here, because you still need to be able to open this and to be able to close it. So you really couldn't wrap it around this way or it would come off, and you really couldn't wrap it around this way or they'd have to take it off as well. So if you wanted to keep them together and just fill them, just super easy little boxes that go together just like that. Oh my gosh, this lavender smells so good. I wish that we had seen these when we did my niece's shower. I hadn't seen those. Those would have been cute little shower gifts, right? All right, so let's take a look at what we did here today. We've been here for a long time. Oh my gosh, it's 9:43. I can't believe I've been on the video that long. So we've got these cute little boxes that we made as our holiday treat. We have a little sneak peek into some of the designer paper, and that also has some little scrapbooking or punch out stuff that you can use with it. Also featuring one of our new online exclusives with our that cake bundle, and then a quick and easy layout. Whoops, I lost the ribbon on that one. A quick and easy layout with using scraps of some of our DSP to make a quick and easy card. So we've got a fun fold, an easy layout, we've got a 3D item. Tried to give you a little bit of variety today. Let me get my light. And I'll switch my camera again. And I'm back. Thank you so much for joining me today. Oh, thank you, Angelique. Yeah, you know what? I missed you last week too. I know I had my card buffet last week, so I had ladies here in the morning, and I had people over on Sunday. So I had people around me, but I just could not get myself to get into my stamp room to actually stamp, and so It was good to get back. It really was good to get back. And now I really need to get back because I have so much cutting to do to get to prep all of my Christmas class for next weekend. So that's what I'm going to be doing the rest of the weekend. So thank you so much for joining me. Um, Mary's asking if I will post the dimensions on Facebook. For the box, is that what you wanted, Mary? I would be happy to do that. I can post all of those dimensions so that you have them. Probably Facebook is the best place to do that. Yeah, these go together really, really fast. So I could see whipping up, 15, 20 of those in no time, really. And then either cutting a label out and putting it on there, or the little Santa looks so cute on there anyway. So yeah, I can definitely do that. Let's see, anything else? Thank you guys. I hope that you all have a happy Thanksgiving. Whatever you're doing, um, don't spend too much money on Black Friday, or make sure you support the small businesses on Saturday. And Cyber Monday, I'm sure, is going to be busy too. But I hope that you have a relaxing Thanksgiving and that you're able to spend it with people that you love. So, thank you so much for joining me. And again, I will be back next Saturday. I'll be back at 8:30 before my big um, class that I have. But wishing you all a very, very, very happy Thanksgiving, and know that I'm grateful for having you support my business. And I'm grateful for all of you who said prayers for me and just sent something and said, take care of yourself first last week. It meant a lot to me. So thank you all very much as I work my way through all of this, and just have a very happy Thanksgiving and know that you are appreciated. Bye bye.